No worries, Jonathan. All right. Let me share my screen. I'll put this up here. Here we go. Share. All right. Can everyone see the screen? Yep. Yep. All right, guys. So no presentation tonight. Now, we have looked at agents and we have looked at vibe coding. It's one thing to be able to create these applications and run them locally on your machine. It's entirely another actually to put that stuff onto the internet. Okay, now putting stuff onto the internet is kind of the goal a lot of the time. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to build a business website for a lawn mowing business. This is just, I'm going to keep it simple because obviously the time it takes to actually build the application needs to be low to fit into 90 minutes. But what we're going to do is we're going to work with the AI to not only build and design, we're also going to, okay, so what we're also going to do is we're going to learn how to work with the AI to upload it. Now, in this case, I'm going to upload it onto a database technology called Neon, and I'm going to put the server on a technology called Railway. Now, one of the cool things about AI is AI understands these platforms. So even if you've never used one of these platforms before, you can very quickly adopt it. I think tonight we're not going to use GitHub, but what you can do is you can also use it to integrate with GitHub, so you can basically manage your code forks, etc. But yeah, so we're going to build a website and we're going to deploy it and have it up and running on the internet, hopefully in 90 minutes. The first thing I thought I'd show you is this new tool that's come out called Claude.ai/design. This is a very, very new tool. It's only been out, I don't know, probably 2 or 3 weeks. But what it enables you to do is create a project. Now, this is very good for building slides and presentations and stuff. But so let's create a new project called Gardening Business. So we're going to create this. Now now you could use just Claude, you could use Codex, you could use Claude Code, you could use anything to build a website for a lawn mowing business. But in this particular one, we're going to use Claude Design. So we're going to build an interactive prototype. So let's say I am starting a new lawn mowing business in Craigieburn, Victoria. I'd like you to build me a simple landing page that customers can go to off my Facebook page. And I'd like an ability for people to submit an inquiry for a simple quote, so I can call the customer. Okay, really simple. Let's go. So at the moment, we're only building, so what's your business name? We'll call it Beaver's Lawn Mowing. We tidy the yard. We offer lawn mowing, edge trimming, hedge trimming, weed control, tidy ups, green waste, one-off cleanups, basically everything. Service beyond Craigieburn. Yep. Nicolum, Roxburgh Park, Greenvale. Yep. Your phone number. 0419678911. Your email, tbeaver@icloud.com. What info? I want their name, their phone number, their email, their property address. Yeah, we'll just put a few things. The visual style, warm and personable. Yep. Yeah, we'll put a few things on there. Show the pricing. Quotes only. Just one. Decide for me. Anything else? No. So that questionnaire was all created by the AI based on my initial prompt.
God, it's simple, isn't it?
So that's turned that into like a prompt. Now it's going to build out my website. Now remember, this is not building me a full stack app yet. It's just building the design so it looks nice. So set up the project structure, build out the landing page, wire up the form validation and submission state, and add tweaks panel, and then verify. So essentially what this is doing is this is like Replit or something else, but probably a bit simpler. But it'll build out a basic code set for us.
And you'd be able to upload your own photo to that, wouldn't you, if you wanted a lawn you'd just done?
Yeah, so that little plus down there,
yeah,
I could upload all my own stuff, but also if I wanted to have like copy, like if I wanted like what I wanted written on the website, I could give it like a Word document or an MD file or something, and it would take all that into consideration for me. Yep. So it would basically then build out exactly what I want. But you'll probably find this will be pretty reasonable because it'll think about what to say. And the cool thing is those questions it came up with, that was it thinking, okay, so he wants to build that kind of website. This is the kind of information we need.
Yep.
So it's writing our styles. So it's obviously writing out the graphics and how it wants to look and feel based on the parameters. You get a certain, you get like an allocation of tokens for this program. I don't know if it's Pro or Max. I know Max definitely has it, but this works really well as well for slides as well. Like, so it'll graphic design, presentations and stuff. So you can't see much happening here at the moment because it's just in the background writing all the files.
Jonathan just asked a question about Claude design in terms of their token usage. I found it really heavy.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, and I think it does a really good job, but I think for a lot of reasons you don't actually have to use it. Like you could just use Claude Cowork. It would come up with something similar. But I just wanted to show you this today. I do find the designs quite nice. And they can follow design guides pretty well. And you can set up design guides in this so you can get consistency. So if you had like a business and you wanted everything to look the same, you can actually give it those things.
Yeah, I've been using Google Stitch instead of design because it's just, Stitch is free, unlimited tokens effectively. And I find it similar, probably not quite as good as code, but it doesn't burn the tokens.
Yeah, it's kind of
Real.
Hmm?
And you can iterate faster with snitch as well.
Mm.
Google snitch. Remote page.
What was that tool? Stitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can actually link the two together. You can actually get like there's a connector between Claude Code and Google Stitch if you want.
Okay, so this is Google's one, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you can choose to whether you want to do an app or a web page, and you just click on web and go pretty much the exact same prompt, and you actually wouldn't be bad. Compare apples against oranges.
Another one of their labs projects. Okay, so this is the website. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, I'll let it finish. Yeah, it's not terrible, is it? I wouldn't pick those colors, but all right. So that's, it says it's verifying. Okay. Share. So what I'm going to do now is, I don't know if this is finished or not. I think it is. I just want the code. It says verifying. Well, let's see if I can download it. So share, download the project as a zip folder. So in that folder, I'll just bring this up here. File, new folder. Call it Gardeno. So I'm going to put the folder in there. Okay, so I'm kind of out of there now. Like I've got my design. I don't know what this is doing over here, but we'll just persist anyway. Okay, so I'm not going to use the application with Claude Code tonight. I'm just going to use Claude in the browser. What's this say? Might just do that again just to make sure I got everything. Download project as zip. Okay, so we grab our files. They're like our design files. And I'll move it to trash. And I'll put those in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to connect to, so I'm going to go change directory document / Gardeno. And then I'm going to launch Claude. So that just means go to the directory, then open Claude, and then Claude will access only that workspace. So cool. So now I'm in Claude Code. And I say, in the folder, you'll find the design for a gardening business website. I'd like to deploy the website with a real database using Neon. And I'd like the actual web page to sit on Railway. Can you please help me complete all the functionality for my page and then help me deploy it onto the internet. This is for a gardening business. So it'll know what those two tools are, and it'll look at that code and go, I don't have enough there to upload that, so I'm going to have to do some work to build that out, and then hopefully it'll work with me then to deploy to those. Here's what I see. So it needs to build a Node Express backend that serves this static page, exposes the quotes to the Neon Postgres, and has an admin. How should, when someone gets a quote, just store it in the database. There we go. So this is just answering questions. An admin page for all quote requests with a single password. Yeah, let's do that. Use free stock photos for now. Yep. Do you already have accounts? I already have both accounts ready for submit my answers. So again, it's stepped me through what I need to do. Now it's going to go off and write the code for me. So now it's going to create the plan. So build the Express backend, so the server, Postgres schema for the quotes table. It's going to clean up the index and remove any design tool scripts, replace the images with some images that it finds. It's going to give me the ignore files, etc. Then it's going to walk me through the deployment. It's doing this all for me. Now, this is a very simple example, but you could build like a whole app and then go through the same process, something more complicated. Yep. So this here, these little ticks are like it's going through and working, doing all the stuff we need. Okay, so this is the SQL file to create. As we can see, we can have the created, the name, the phone, the email, so all the data we need. So we're going to create that schema. It's just created that for us. So we don't even have to be a database expert now. So this is the file, I think, that generates the database for us. So it basically writes all the code to actually go and create the database in the Neon technology. And if you wanted to do this on Azure or another technology, you just say, I want to do it on Azure, and it'll probably go off and do something similar, but obviously for that platform instead of this. And if you don't know a platform, just ask it. Say, hey, I want to deploy this somewhere. Have you got any good ideas? It'll tell you. Okay, so we're creating the server file, JavaScript. And if you think about it, any small business, like this is one of the things that just takes forever, trying to get a website up. And it usually costs a lot. Like if you go and ask someone to build you a website, it's not cheap. So now it's even going to go and clean up my file because it's got a whole bunch of junk code in it from the design. I did practice this on Friday night. This was the boring slow bit because you can't see it. It's sort of just working on it in the background. It's probably going through that big file. But it's chewed through 12,000 tokens already.
What's a token worth, Tim?
A token is about 3/4 of a word. So about
Yeah, but what's its dollar value?
on Claude Max, nothing because I'm connected to that. So I've sort of already paid for it. But in what is it? So like, let's ask. Is a token? Needs 1 million tokens on OpenAI. It's because it's not extended. $5 per million.
Yeah.
But $30 per 1 million output. Quite a lot.
Mm.
But it's only 75 cents on Mini.
Yep.
So, all right. So we go back here. Yep. There's a lot of talk in the industry about, those like max plans and how many tokens you get and what people are really paying for them and the subsidization rate and what they're really going to cost in the future. And a lot of people are saying, they cost a lot. That's why I think you're going to have to start looking at tokens like labor. Like you're going to have to look at a human and go, a human's worth a salary of, I don't know, $150,000. Then how much are you willing to pay for tokens for that human? Because they're going to be more useful if they get tokens. All right, so
Very futuristic.
it's basically going through and doing all the work for us. Yep. So obviously there's a README. It's probably going to teach me how to do it. So it's kind of documented what it's done. Okay, should I delete the old design tool files in the root? Yeah. And again, like last week, none of this requires much technical skill. It's really just like a process, really. Okay, so now it's doing its smoke test. So it's clean. Okay, so now we're starting a server to test it. This is just locally. Dependencies installed clean, the smoke test, the server I need the neon connection string. I can also do to apply. I'll paste it in the chat. And the admin password. I'll pick one and paste it. Are you ready to pick your answers? Okay. Go ahead and paste both. Okay. So the admin passwords, what we do is we go into Neon. And how this works is I create a new project and I call it Gardeno. And I'm going to put it in Sydney. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my database in Sydney. I'm going to create that. And here, there's this little connection string. So we grab that. And what I do is I copy that snippet. Then neon string and password equals Gardeno 1. So I'll just write that down. So it's just the username and password is user. User Gardeno 1. I think that just built the server for the database. And I think it's now basically spinning up a local version to test. Yep. Server up and database reachable. Now testing a form submission. Yep, so it's basically going to enter some data into the form for me, and it's going to make sure that that data goes across into the database. So everything works, so we've connected it. So now we're shutting down that server because we don't need that anymore. So basically that endpoint is now working and the front end works. And now we're going to build out the deployment onto Railway, I believe. Let's deploy to Railway. Okay, direct upload to Railway, or we can go through GitHub. Let's just go direct. Okay. So I'm just going to start one of these. Oh, it might do it for me. Hang on. Should the Railway code be created in a specific team, workspace, or your personal account? Let me pick interactively. Please type this into the prompt. Leading runs the session. Okay. So I grab that, and if I open a new window, leave blank for randomly generated. Okay, so I want a randomly generated project name. Well, no, we'll call it Gardeno. Gardeno 101. I'll feed this back. Okay. So it's created my project. Service doesn't exist yet. Yeah, okay. So that question before, I probably should have just said use the standard. I think this will work anyway. Yep. So again, I'm really not driving this. I mean, I'm just sort of following what it's telling me to do. Okay. So now it's pushing my database connection over. You can see that it's building here. It is deployed. The other thing I think might have happened there is like we initiated it, but it actually takes probably 2 or 3 minutes for that server to come online. It's building it. It's created the domain for me. Yes. There we go. It's on the web.
Pretty smart, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that first question I should have just went the recommended way, because I think it just would have done it like just in one click. But okay, so now it's live. Rotate the neon password. You paste it into the chat. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and change the admin password. Okay, so I'm just going to delete all this after this anyway, so I'm not too fast. But yeah, that's working now. Hopefully, if I go down and I type Timothy Beaver 1968755 tbeaver@ipad.com. My property address is 489 Smith Street, Craigieburn. And I need lawn mowing. Yeah, so that's pretty ordinary, but monthly, preferred times, Saturday morning. So you can specify whatever you want, and we could go in and just say, hey, I don't like this, I want something else, and it would just go and change it for you. I hit request my quote. There we go, cool. So if I go over to my Neon database, then there it is. So there's my record in my database. Now, obviously, at the moment, that's a pretty dumb way of doing it. But if you wanted to, you could build an application that reads that out into your CRM or, you know, the Google Sheet or, you know, wherever you want to put it. So we've got the database there. So what is the URL for the admin to log in? So if we go back here, I don't know if there's I don't think there's a link to it, but there will be a URL. Okay, so there's like a secret. That would be user Cardano 1 user. Yeah. Oh, did I say, sorry, admin? There we go. So that's just pulling from the database. So if I had a small business and I just wanted to capture leads off my website, all I would have to do is go there. If I wanted to then, you know, make a proper login and make it look nice, and you could also extend on this, right? So nothing can stop you from, you might vibe code a complete app for your lawn mowing business. You know, actually have a calendar, put the times in there, put it all into a database, and you could turn up with a full stack application. And then once your application's all working, you put it in a folder, and then you say, hey, Claude, I want you to go and help me deploy this app. So cool, that ran pretty smooth.
Didn't take long, did it?
No, And it looks it actually looks all right. Like if you gave it some pictures and tidied it up a little, it's not embarrassing.
That's that is one benefit of Stitch is it uses it automatically pulls Nano Banana photos in for you. So
What about if I grab that and I just go to Stitch? Stitch with Google. All right, so what shall we do? I want to build a lawn mowing website with the following content, and we'll put it on the web. Because I'm sure this tool would do exactly the same. One thing I do like about Google's products is not many people use them, so they usually got really, really good performance. And this isn't even a commercial product yet. It's still a lab project. The new models are quite nice, though, aren't they? I mean, this looks great. Boom, boom, boom. How cool is that? That is just wild.
Pretty smart, isn't it?
And just think of like if you're a web developer, you are completely and utterly screwed.
You are buggered.
You're not going to do anything this good. You
No.
just
Well, you might do it nicer and better, but it's, isn't it?
I don't know if you would do it better though.
Problem is, it'll take you a few
it'll take you
days.
better in that time though. Look at the
No,
images.
not in that time.
Images is the thing that always gets me when I use Stitch first design.
Okay, so I've done that. Now let's have some fun. Let's export that. Select all. Zip file. I'll export it. Now, where did that go? Where the hell did that go? Oops. Maybe it is it. That's not it, is it? Okay. All right. I'm going to put that back in Gardeno. Why not do that? New design. All right. New design. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Claude Code, and I'm going to go, hey, Claude Code. Hey, Claude Code. I just did a new design I like better in stitch.withgoogle.com. And I put the design file and all the information in the folder new design. Can you look at it and update my app to suit the new design? So it's gone and found the code and the screen. So this is quite complicated, right? This is completely different HTML. It's still got all the functionality we need to incorporate. I've just chucked it at it, and it needs to deploy it. So there's like 3 variables it's having to consider. Let's see if it can do it. I'm pretty sure it'll be able to. You could also potentially say, oh, I want the app to look more like this website. If you gave it the website, it can go and look at it and look at the source code.
Sort of copy it.
Get the styles. Got it. Slick material, 3. Let me show you a plan to do first, since it involves some trade-offs. Email back. Keep all the old fields in the new visual style. Yeah. Keep Tailwind. Yep. Let's keep the Google ones. Won't be stable long term. Yeah, whatever. Submit. All right, so it's going to go and refactor for us. And I think the crazy thing with this agency now is like if you can build websites like this, imagine like how much easier it is to build businesses in the first place. Like if the cost to create a website for some event or something's, you know, I mean, I'm only at 8.4. I've only been going like 49 minutes. I've already done 1 and I'm refactoring to 2. It's been less than an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm literally not doing something more complicated just because it just takes longer to code. Like it's no harder for me to go and do something a lot more complicated. It just takes longer because it's got to write the code for it. Yeah, so building the new design, replacing that with the new design, integrating all 7 original form fields into the form card, updating the CSP in the server.javascript for Tailwind and the image host, and then redeploying. Like, you know how long it takes to launch a website anywhere? It's like, just give a team like a month.
Yeah.
Tim, is there any reason you chose Railway and Neon? Like, are they easy, free, cheap, stable?
Cheap and easy and quite popular.
And if you own the domain, how do you like?
There's a tool in there where you can actually just buy a domain, or you can give them your details for your domain off like GoDaddy or something.
Yep. And
it'll just resolve that URL they give you to your domain. It's not hard at all.
Okay. And how much space does Railway like give you for free? Like, is there a? I'll just Google it.
I think Railway. I've just got like a hobby plan. I think it's like $5, but you can get away with free. I just did it because I didn't want, one thing I had up, I didn't want to like fall off the internet if it ran out. But yeah, I mean, this is crazy cheap now. Like it's super, super cheap.
Mm.
I think this one, yeah, $5 a month or something. You could also use something like Hertz now, which you can actually deploy your own server. Like they physically deploy you a server.
Wow.
That's like $6 a month, I think. For certain types of applications, Vercel is a good one too, although they got hacked recently. But you could also just do it on Google Cloud as well. Google Cloud would do it. Azure would do it. AWS would do it. But I find that the further you go up the professional pathway, that like it's just a lot more stuffing around. And I'm sort of pitching this class as more, you know, for sort of little entrepreneurs that want to do stuff, not kind of enterprise stuff. But if you had a friend who had a lawn mowing business and they had a really crappy website and you wanted to help them out and build them one, I mean, I don't see why you couldn't. I mean, what's the risk really? It's like, you know, phone number of a customer, really. That's about it. Okay, so it's updating all this. The other cool thing with this tool is if it has problems, you can actually fix them on this end. So they've got AI connected.
Yeah.
But you don't really need to because they've got the command line interface to the Claude code. So Claude code can find bugs and errors in it anyway. And so if you think about it, like deploying infrastructure for websites and stuff used to be super difficult. But now the AI can talk to these tools and do the work on your behalf and test them and debug them. I saw Replit now has like security. I think it's like $5 and it'll review all of your code and close and get rid of any security issues. So they're doing like code reviews. So I think they've done a deal with Microsoft to do that at the kind of enterprise level. So I can imagine a time in the not too distant future where you're going to be able to write software for enterprise relatively easily. And I think that's where the industry's going. I think Eric Schmidt said the other day by like next year, pretty much all code's going to be written by AI mostly. There'll be still a lot of, but I just think what will happen is you'll just get a lot more code. You'll have a lot more, like the cost of code will come down, so you'll be able to do more. So there'll be heaps more stuff happening. I don't think it'll just get rid of coders, but it'll get rid of a lot of coders who don't want to do it this way. I can tell you that. Yeah, no worries, Jonathan. All right. So we're cleaning up the database. Okay, so let's see if that worked. And the cool thing is once it's done it once, it sort of knows where to go. That's interesting. Did it deploy yet? I'm not sure. Nothing changed. Did you deploy it? Or was it just cached? Or did I not copy and paste it properly? Oh, yeah. Yep. So there we go. So that's the new website with the new look and feel from Google. That must have been cached. Be browser cache, yeah. Well, that actually happened a lot quicker than I thought it would.
Yeah.
And like Jonathan said, you can actually tweak your design a little bit easier, I find, in Stitch. You can change your colors and
So let's see if this still works. Michael Dundee 0400 at gmail.com. 101 Smith Street, Craigieburn. Okay, so it's even done that bit for me.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Brilliant.
So yeah, so basically any code set that you build or vibe code, anything that has a database, full stack applications up and down, it will build these for you and deploy them. It also has environment variables. So if you wanted to add like AI functionality to an application, it'll step you through and help you set all your API keys and environments and all that sort of stuff. You saw in the code flow that you can do it via GitHub. Now, GitHub is good because you can basically deploy to GitHub and then GitHub deploys to Railway. By doing that, every time you make a change, you fork the code. So you kind of like in this case, we had one version and then we created another version. In this case, the first version would be lost. Whereas if you did it through GitHub, it would actually apply that as a change. And then so you would actually be able to roll back, if that makes sense. So GitHub kind of looks like this tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else to tell you on this one. It's
Pretty smooth.
That was great, Tim.
Mm.
So you use Neon just because you want to capture that data? Like you don't actually have to use Neon, I'm guessing? Like you could just get it to send an email to your inbox?
yeah. The problem with an email though is you need like a service to send it through. But yeah, so you could also probably do it to like Airtable or Neon, or let's ask. Let's go Claude. I have built an app with Neon as my database and Railway as my server. Please write out for me all the best alternatives for both. Give me options and rank them from enterprise grade through to hobby. So Amazon, Cockroach database, Avian, mid-tier, Superbase is a popular one. Planet Scale, Crunchy Bridge, Superbase free tier, Terso, Zata, hosting. So AWS, EC2, ECS, Heroku, the original PaaS, North Flank, Flight Control, Render, Fly.io, that's got a server in Sydney. Digital Ocean, Coolify. If I'm working with AI coding, which are the best, do you think? Okay, so Neon is really, really good. Superbase is not as good. Render versus Cell, Fly.io, AI friendly means good documentation, clean configures code, fast preview deploys, and small surface area. It's Hetzner, is it? Where is it? And this is where I found you can build your own servers. Yeah, $6.15 a month. And it'll help you spin up that server, and it'll configure it and put a Linux operating system on it and then run your code. So you can sort of go really sovereign as well. Yeah, I did that one the other week for fun and it worked fine. Yeah. I think that's all I have for tonight. Anyone's got any questions?
No, I've got to be up at about 5 a.m, so I'm pretty happy.
No, that's really good, Tim. It just looks so easy.
Yep, it does.
Yeah, like there's nothing there I did that was particularly technical, was there? It's just like following a bouncing ball, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too is, like, if you work for an organization and you vibe code something or build something, like, often the biggest challenge is getting the requirements and getting people to imagine the enterprise version. So if you can actually build it and deploy it and it works, and you're not using, enterprise data or secure data, even if you did it with synthetic data, like, you could pretty quickly see how you could deliver valuable outcomes. And then if you do want to make it all robust and, rigid, you can hand it over to IT, but you've sort of done the work. You don't need to go through that 9-month boring process. You just kind of, they've just got to implement it.
Tim, how does trademarking or IP, I know you're not a lawyer, but how does the IP of that website, how do you protect that? When someone else can go and just do something in Claude and get exactly the same result and say, oh, no, I did it in AI. So
I think the honest answer is you can't protect it.
yeah.
You could definitely, you might be able to protect a brand. You might be able to patent a very novel business process, but even that's a stretch.
Yeah, but
And
because
so-
it's all repeatable stuff, it's not really yours.
No, I don't think so. But if you look at the way things are going, it's actually going to be people's ability to execute that's going to differentiate.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you're right. Someone might set up some sort of digital service, but if somebody else were to just, like, you could literally just look at other businesses that are doing well and go and mimic them. I mean, if you did it from, like, in the past, you would have to go and hire, like, even if you did this offshore in India or Bali or somewhere, if you wanted to hire people to go and build a website that has reasonably complicated functionality, you might be up for $50,000 or $100,000 to hire a team and get them to work on it. But now you could just like build something, and so literally you might even be able to just look around at other businesses that are doing innovative things and just go, you know what, that model's working. I might build a competitor to that.
Yeah.
If they haven't patented it, and
Exactly. Yeah.
you know,
I think if they've got a trademark or a patent, then I'd be in trouble. But other than, like, if I say, all right, let's build a website that looks like a lot like Coca-Cola, and they'll come after me. I get that.
so yes, they can go after you on trademark, but if you like trying to patent a business process is really, really difficult. I know in
Yeah.
Australia
Yeah.
it's exceptionally difficult. So if you had, like, say someone built an app, I don't know, maybe there's an app where they do compliance checks. So I was thinking about one today, you know, childcare centres have to have all these plans associated with legislation, and they have to hire consultants to come in and review all their plans every year to make sure that they're all compliant, and then they have to update their plans. And that's apparently like a really painful thing for organizations to get certified. So I thought, well, imagine if you could just get all the latest plans and then upload last year's documents and get the fit gap and then update the docs. So you could essentially vibe code something that would do that. But if I found someone else doing that and I like the look of it, like the cost, like if they went off and spent $300,000, you know,
Yeah.
building that system, like you could probably build it in a day or two.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like even today when I was having a conversation with Grok about that idea, and it's almost like the consultants that do the work wouldn't want to buy it off you because you're sort of cutting their lunch. Even if you're saving them time, they don't even know that that's good for them, so they'll reject you. But as soon as you try and sell it to a childcare center directly, they're going to want you to sign off on it. And what credentials do you have? So you sort of, there's so many, like I was actually trying to get the AI to give me ideas that weren't just compliance based. And like, unless you build like a product or a service in the physical world, there's not a lot of ideas around really. It's all regulated.
Yeah, there's a lot of regulated ones, but if you think about ones that make money, I think they're the things that people are gonna want to be able to make money and be lazy, right? So
the sad thing is, the more valuable thing is not going to be the ability to build the website. The more valuable thing is building the connections and the social networks to get people to give you money.
exactly.
That's where the money's going to come from.
Absolutely. Whether people give you money or, whether it's playing the stock market or whether it's whatever it is, but
yeah. But you can also be endlessly creative. So if you find something that you like as a service, you might just be able to go build your own version of. And you know, if it's not like, I mean, if you copied absolutely every element and it was clearly just a copy, but I mean, most ideas aren't that novel, really. Like a gardening website is not novel. You know, there's millions. So, but you know,
having a unique idea is sometimes a tough thing. All right, Tim, I'm going to head off. Thank you very much for tonight. That was really good.
Cheers.
Thanks. See ya.
Well, I think that's it, guys.
Terrific again. Thanks, Tim.
No worries. If there's anything you want to build next week, I haven't got anything on my plan list, so I'll have to come up with something otherwise. But I think Emma's been building agents, which is cool. Yeah.
But maybe it's Emma's turn to show and tell next week.
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your time. Hope you learned something. That's another. I find that's a big door, that one. Once you figure out how to do that, that means you can get your stuff to the world. So
It's amazing. Thanks, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. That's terrific. Bye, all.
Thanks all. Bye.
See ya.
Thanks,
Nice to see
Tim.
you all.
So,
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.